Okay, so that is a unique differentiation between Biotime 8.0 and Biotime Cloud accordingly. So I'll be sharing my screen now, so we continue with the setup session. Also on this session, like I mentioned, I have myself and my colleague, Mr. Taufik, who will be taking the commercial and sales session. So after my session, Mr. Taufik will be taking that session. So please, you want to do well to stay to the end of this session, and as it promises to be interesting. So now, permit me to share my screen while we continue from where we stopped yesterday. Just to confirm, I believe everyone can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, can you just signify from the chat, please? Very much appreciated. Can hear me, just signify. Okay. So I trust everyone can hear me. So we are starting from where we stopped yesterday. So yesterday, just a quick rundown, we were able to take the basics as it concerns setting up personnel, adding the device, setting the device configuration, and all parameters as related to adding device. So today, we are going to be looking at the reporting and other features that concern attendance parameters, and of course, the email configuration as well. So my session is going to be as brief as 30 minutes or less, all things being equal. So let's dive right in. As a continuation from what we took yesterday, if everything has been properly set in view of the global rule, the departmental rule, the shifts, and in the shift, we have the break time, the timetable, and the shift. And after we've done that, we've also done departmental or employee scheduling accordingly. Next thing we need to note is reports, right? Because all these modalities we are setting is not for us to just set for setting sake. It's for us to be able to get an accurate report. And there's something important to note when it comes to time attendance, whether you're using Biotime 8.0 or you're using Biotime Africa, the cloud-based time attendance solution. One thing is very common. If your parameters are not right, your report will not be right. So it's pretty much a very popular computer cliche, the garbage in, garbage out. That's the GIGO philosophy, right? That's what governs the time attendance solution. If your parameters are not right, your report would not come out right. That is why we have taken our time to explain how you can set these parameters so as to get an accurate report, or a report that gives you what you intend it to. Okay, so it's very important that we set our parameters if we want to get an accurate report. So that cannot be overemphasized. It's very, very important. Else, you might just end up setting your software and you're not getting the accurate report because your parameters are not set right. So this is very important to note. Okay, now, what do we do when it comes to the report? So you go to the attendance module, as you can see on my screen. Then you scroll down to where we have the reports tab. You click, you have a drop-down tab. And before you do anything reporting, the first thing you need to know when it comes to report is you need to calculate your report, right? And for you to do that, there are some configuration you need to set before you do that. So under the report tab, we have the configuration tab. There, you can set your report setting, okay? We have how your date format, how you want it to be, time format, work related. And now for the work day related, you can set your method of calculation, whether you want it auto-calculated, whether you want it calculated by total record or calculated by every record, okay? So you need to set that accordingly. Like myself, I prefer using the auto-calculate. Auto-calculate automatically use the total captured data to prorate accordingly in view of your the assigned shifts and rule accordingly, okay? So once you do that, Displayed resigned employee, of course, that should be no, because an employee that is categorized as resigned should have left the system. So his report is not necessary. So, but if you want to still calculate those, even those who have resigned, you can activate this from this tab. So with everything being done right, the next is the function key. So the function key literally just tells you what different key stands for, which we've set in our device parameters where we are working in the work code. Okay. Then of course, another very important area is the report item display. Report item display is very important because that is what gives you how your report is being recorded. Okay. So for example, duty duration, this is measured in number of hours. The minimum unit is 1. Okay. It's very important you said that right. And rounding off, depending on how you want to, are you rounding down, are you rounding up, or are you rounding up? Depending on what you want to use, you set that accordingly. Then break time duration, of course, is measured in hour and minutes. Okay, very, very important. The unscheduled, how do you want it? Do you want it measured in hour or in minutes or in work day? You can set that accordingly, depending on how you want it measured. Okay, lateness, of course, lateness should be measured in either in hour or in minutes. Some people might try to use work day, depending on what you want to, what works best for the organization you are configuring this solution for, okay? Next, we have the absence, the early leave, the overtime, just set accordingly. The miss in punch, the miss out punch, how do you want it? Is it work day? I prefer using work day for this, if I'm setting though. Then present, of course, work day. Day off, of course, is work day. Week off, work day. You can decide to set it minutes or hours or whatever. You set to the taste of what the organization wants, right? So that is very important for us to note. So with all that being done, you can also set their symbols, how you want them to be represented. This is what we reflect in your report. So for example, when you see your report, you put your report and you see WT, you know it's talking about work time or the duty duration, right? If you see the BTD, represents the break time duration and all that acronyms and symbols that you use to represent different report factors and parameters that you set accordingly. So if this is properly set right in view of the requirements of the organization or the company you're setting for, of course, your report should come out as you want it to. Okay? So once that is properly set, you, of course, you need to save it. And now we proceed to the report proper. Note, before you pull report, the first thing you must do is to calculate your report. Now, still under the attendance tab, you see the report tab. If you click a drop down, you see calculate and report. Okay. So now click on calculate. When you click on calculate, you have your screen, what you're seeing on your display that you would see. So now, what do we want to do? Just to note, this current account I'm using doesn't really have any details because it's just a demo account that there is no employee per se, right? So in this case, if I want to calculate a report, what I need to do is just set my duration, right? So I go in here, come in please. Okay, let me use the test session account we created yesterday for better understanding, since we have at least some an employee details there. But because we've not used it for sign in and sign out, there might not be a transaction on it in terms of getting a report, okay? Oh, pardon me. I forgot I used a temporary email that I can't even recall. See, oh, Okay. This. So now, if you click on the employee details, you should have all the employees in the department that comes up as a drop down. Okay. Once you have that, next thing you need to do is to set a range. So you want to pull a report. If there were employees that have been captured accordingly, so just for the sake of this session, let me quickly do something. I'll quickly scale down to where we have the personnel, and I'll create an employee. So the reason why you're not seeing any transaction report or report to pull is because there's no employee. So now I'll quickly create an employee for the sake of this session so we can have something to pull. So let me use this. Use my name. Okay, so we know the important field. Email, you can use whatever. Okay, so if we set that correctly, we should have the account created in no time. Oh, sorry. This. Okay. So good. So now we have an employee created. So now if you go back to the attendance, scale down to the reports, and now click on calculate. So now you see, because we've created an employee, we now have a name here. So now, if I want to pull a report, what I need to do is click on the employee ID or whatever I want to click, or based on the area or whatever. And all the employees I have created in this organization will appear here. What I just need to do is to select the employee. Okay. Once that is done, I select a date range. So say I want to pull a report for 2020 to date. I just go to the range, select the date range. Okay. 2020 plus to date. Once I've done that, I click on calculate. So what this does is that it distributes the clocking details that are keyed from the device and distribute it in view of the scheduled shifts that every employee has been assigned to work. So it assigns the clocking based on the rule. That is what the calculation does. So once we do that, automatically it just distributes the rule based on the it distributes the clocks based on the attendance rule that have been set for each staff accordingly. That's what it does. So once you've done that, the next thing you need to do is go to reports. When you click on the report tab, you have a comprehensive report in different formats. Sorry, my apology, please. I had a bit network glitch. I'll share my screen now. Can everyone hear me, please? My yeah, apology. Network is not so friendly. Okay, so let's proceed. So once you click on reports, you see this display, which you currently find on the screen. We have several report formats. We have transaction reports. Under transaction report, we have transaction, mobile transaction, total punches, first and last, first in, last out, and under the transaction report tab. Then we have scheduling reports, which is the schedule log, total time card, missed in and out punch, late reports, early leave, birthday report, overtime, absence report, multiple transaction, and break time report. That's under scheduling reports. Then we have the daily attendance report, daily details report, daily summary, and of course the daily status report. While under the monthly report, we have the status summary, overtime summary, work duration, work detail, attendance sheet summary, attendance status, and attendance summary. While in summary reports, we have employee summary, leave summary, departmental summary, and yearly summary. Of course, other special reports or temperature detection accordingly, depending on the device that's using the heat phase and the prophase range of devices that has a thermal and temperature detection function. Okay, so the report you want to pull would depend on what you want to get. And like I always tell people who are using this solution and they want to pull reports, it's best for you to sample all the reports accordingly and the report formats. So the output of the report will determine what you want. Some people do prefer using the daily detail. So, for example, let's say we want to use the daily details. Daily details, what you see is what you find here. When you put the report, you have the expected work duration, the expected check-in time, the expected check-out time. Then you will now have the actual clock-in time, the actual clock-out time, the actual work hours, the total overtime, lateness, early leave, total work time, and status for the day. And of course, the punch record will be here. Time I punch in, the time I punch out. That's where you find the record. And the beautiful thing is that you can export all the report formats in different formats. PDF, in Excel, in CSV, in text format. You can export accordingly. Same way you can also do for the employees. You can export your employees, your department, your area accordingly. You can export that. And someone asked a question, is it possible to migrate data from Biotime 8.0 to Biotime Africa? Of course, you can export accordingly. You can export from Biotime Cloud to Biotime 8.0, and you can export from Biotime 8.0 to Biotime Cloud accordingly. But you need to know not every information can be exported, so you need to understand that, right? Like you cannot export the biometric details, like the fingerprint details and all that, because those details are resident on the device. So what you need to do is just to add the device that you currently have on Biotime 8.0 to Biotime Africa, and automatically it's going to synchronize all your biometric details accordingly. That's you transferring using another option like USB or exporting in Excel or test or CSV or that's the only thing you cannot export. Biometric details like fingerprint details, your facial template cannot be exported using this one. Because employee name and other necessary details that can be exported concurrently from Biotime 8.0 to Biotime Africa, from Biotime Africa to Biotime 8. That's clear. So this is the format of the daily details. This is what you get. Well, I would have pulled, but like I mentioned, we don't have any transaction details on this. So of course, we won't show anything on this. For subsequent session, I will try to do a punch on the device at least the day before so I can get actual transaction for us to pull. So you see real-time format of what your report looks like. But in actual sense, this is what your report will come out. Once you have punchy details, this column will be filled appropriately with necessary details. Okay. So now we go back, report. You can now try daily summary. What does it look like? Okay, so in daily summary, this is what we see. We see the clock-in time, the clock-out time, total work time, of course, the status, absent, present, missed punch in, missed punch out, and of course, different remarks accordingly. Okay. Then the daily status, what would we find in the daily status? Okay, apology. This network is not our friend today. Okay, so it's network is trying to boot up. Share with us. So, apology, please. It seems the internet service provider I'm using today is the Nitel. Not so friendly, right? Okay. Um, okay, so these are your different report formats. So what you need to do in your spare time, you just create an account and you can play around it and see different report formats. Okay. So this is just about everything that concerns the report. So now the next thing we're going to do is see to the email setup and configuration, like we talked about yesterday. So email setup and configuration, go to email settings. Note, this is what you should have once your email is set up. Once your email is set up fully, you should have your SMTP server, which is the URL. For example, what I'm using currently is I'm using Send in Blue, and this is the SMTP URL, which is SMTP server link. The SMTP, the port, SMTP port is 587, and of course, email account I use in creating my SMTP account was my password. And my email address, I'm using this email address, and that's what you see when you get a notification from Biotime Africa. Okay? So once that is done, once this is set up, you should get a real-time notification of clock in, clock out, depending on what you set, right? Absence and all that, you get the real-time notification accordingly. So it's very important to set this. And you need to set your notification accordingly. This is where you set a notification. What happens when the number of lateness exceeds 0? Every lateness admin is prompted. When the number of early leave exceeds 0, you can set that accordingly. So if someone has a grace of, say, 2 lateness, 1 early leave, or whatever, you can set that accordingly. Sending frequency, how do you want what to be sent? Is it daily, is it weekly, is it monthly? For example, if you choose daily, at what time? Once a day. What time do you want to trigger the message? Set the time. Okay? Current day or next day. Set them accordingly. Because we have several other notifications that you want to set there. This is pretty much everything that has to do with alert notification. So is this alert setting that you set that will trigger a message, an SMS, WhatsApp notification that you get accordingly once it's integrated to work with it. Like we also discussed yesterday, for the WhatsApp, the SMS notification, you need an API to activate that, which is not coming from us, third-party solution, which have your API token accordingly. So I think this is pretty much what we take today. Round up my session and take a quick question and answer, after which Mr. Taufik, head of sales, would commence his session. So I would like to take questions at this point. I'd like to take questions at this point. For those that have questions, you can indicate by raising your hand if you have questions. Okay, so in the absence of questions, Mr. Taufik, you have the audience, please. Kindly proceed. At the end of the session, we'll take the question.
All right, good morning, everyone. Mr. Josh, please give me the right to share my screen. I hope everyone can hear me. My name is Taufik Fagbemi. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
Josh, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Mr. Taufik.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Abraham, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can all hear you.
I can hear you.
All right, so I just want to assume that every other person can hear me. Good morning, everyone. I will be sharing my screen. To start with, my name is Fagbemi Taufik. I'm head of sales, ZKTeco West Africa. I'm delighted to meet you today as we go through the next 15-20 minutes around engaging the markets. It's a very short presentation, and my session is actually not to teach us sales. I mean, this is not a sales training per se. It's just exposing our minds a little about how we can take advantage of this African timekeeper opportunity to expand the market and expand our pockets. So I have a few slides to present, and I start with a short introduction about what I'll be talking about. We will reflect on the products. I mean, much of what we've done in the past few hours is around the product, Biotime Africa. And so we do a little extra around the products. And beyond just Biotime Africa, I mean, product within product will be mentioned. Then the you, who are you, I mean, to these engagements, and we want to explore the markets, what the market looks like to you, and how we can actually explore this opportunity of about 220 million Nigerians to make something for ourselves. So I'll simply say the product, the person, and the people, right? The 3 P's, as I would like to target. So much has been said about Biotime Africa as a web-based attendance solution developed and designed basically to help businesses to enhance productivity. I mean, it has actually shown that people's presence at workplace have a lot to do with how much they can actually achieve within that period. So, of course, I know some businesses actually tag them work from home, right? But if the nature of your business actually requires presence, I mean, work from home will not work. And if people must be there, the hours at which they are at work should be accounted for. If it's not accounted for, organizations are losing. Employee is, again, it's not nothing to lose, but employees are losing a lot. I mean, because they have to pay the whole wage for that presence at workplace. But the question is, are they getting the full productivity for that person's presence at workplace? So this through our time attendance, through these time attendance devices at the Biotime Africa, I mean, a lot of other such can actually be measured in real time that will be fair to both the employers and the employee. So this solution, of course, you are aware, is the cloud-based solution. It is time attendance management solution, and it actually gives the privilege for centralized system, whereby even when you have your head office in Lagos, you can remotely manage your employees in Lagos, outside of Lagos, and outside of Africa, wherever you have your branches. Once you have these devices installed there, and you have the software controlling it as Biotime Africa, you are sure that you actually handle with information of your employee as far as time attendance is concerned. So, Biotime Africa, what are you actually selling? That's the product. The product you're actually selling is you are providing problem, you are solving problem that a lot of organizations have. A problem of absenteeism is a problem within the workplace, especially within the government cycle. I can actually see lately a lot of noise here and there from federal to state and local governments. Being aware and alive to the fact that absenteeism at work is actually killing, the system of civil service. Same in the workplace. When you have a very large organization, there are chances of each employee to connive with their immediate superior and arrange absenteeism or lateness to work and the likes. But the solution, you have a solution to that problem, and organizations would like to hear about it. That is the product. Right now, there are challenges of ghost workers, rights, especially in the government cycle, where they are paying salary to those who are not actually meant to earn salary. They are not at work. Probably they are dead, or they are working in that state and they are earning money in these particular states. These are ghost worker menace. Organizations, companies, and governments all over the world is willing to get rid of this menace, and that's the solution you have for them. Staff database management. A lot of SMEs and micro businesses do not have very accurate data of their staff in terms of names and everyday information. You have a solution for them. Automated and digitized attendance system. A lot of time you have, even up till now, you go to even large organizations, you see people still doing paper attendance, sign in and sign out. You would actually be surprised that such company, big as they are still resorting to manual paper. Manual paper attendance. You have a solution for that. Internal control and process improvements. For whatever reason, companies are actually hungry of the fact that they want to have a very good control of their operations in terms of human management, managing the where they have shift, for example, they want to be able to manage shift management properly and know who is actually in what shifts and who is actually meant to be at work today, who is meant to be on break and all. Managing their leave and all related human timing management is an internal process that a lot of companies are dying to have a solution for. This is solution in your hands. Process improvements, digital system, these are solutions that you have in your hand. That is the products. And Biotime Africa and the software and, of course, the devices we'll be working with on it is actually positioned to solve all these problems. So you are selling a solution, and, of course, you are identifying the problem within the workplace, particular pain point to each of these your prospective companies, and see which is actually providing the biggest headache for them. Is there absenteeism, ghost working, staff database management, or any other, what have you? These are solutions that you have readily available for them. Now, so what are you selling? Like I mentioned earlier, you are giving solutions to problems. So number one, you are given a solution, right? You are given a solution as a service to address corporate needs. Those needs are mentioned earlier: ghost working, absenteeism, presenteeism, and all. So you are selling software as a service. Software as a service. Anytime you actually deploy Biotime Africa is a software, you are selling it as a service for them. I can actually make it a very different component of your pricing system. You have product as a service, because software, Biotime Africa as a software is actually working along with products, the MB460, K40, and all related products that I can actually work with these devices. Is a product. You are selling product as a service. They are selling installation as a service. They agree that they have this problem. They have listened to you to deploy the solution for them. They don't have internal technical capacity to actually do that. It is your duty to actually do that for them, and this will come in at a cost to them. Then support. When you must have completed your installation, there will be need for training, onboarding training to get used to your solution and devices. After that, you want to give them support around after sales support to ensure that whatever you deploy for them is working optimally. We will provide the warranty based on what you get from us. You provide the warranty for them. You provide such support like configuration support, device setup support, and all. These are supports that can actually sell as a service. We are doing all this, standing on the shoulder of the very big brand, ZKTeco. Josh has actually explained a little about what our company is worth, with over 30 subsidiaries and over 60 branches in terms of presence in other places across Africa. This is actually a big brand, a global brand, a multinational brand for that matter. We are standing on the shoulder of this company to provide all these solutions, software, product installation, training, and so on and so forth for your prospective customer. Sorry, my slide is not moving. So hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, can hear you.
Okay, good. So now that's about the product. Then we move to you as the person. Who are you to us? Well, you are a partner to us, and we call you Biotime African partners, and we call you African Timekeepers, Biotime African Timekeepers. So in short, we call you a BAP, Biotime African partner, and you're a worthy partner for that matter in pushing these products and brand and associated devices into the markets to engage and to make money. All right. So we see you as a business owner, independent entity, determining your own path to business growth, determining your income, your timing, and all. So you are your own CEO in this engagement. Whether you are busy with a particular job already, or you're just actually looking at what to add on to your existing job. All right, you are a partner to us, and this is actually a leverage for you to make extra bucks to your pockets. While representing our brand, you carry your own identity to your customer. This identity is what will determine your mileage in the industry. A lot of time, people that are actually talking to you, they are talking to you because it's you. They first listen to you before they actually think about what your company can offer. So if they don't buy into you, they can't buy your product. So the first thing is to look at, make sure that you are sellable, and you are selling yourself. You're selling integrity. You are selling presence. You are selling timely response to their request. You are selling empathy to them, understanding their situation, understanding their needs, understanding their person, understanding their personality, and ensure that you position yourself as a reliable ally as much as possible. You are your own company. You are your own sales manager. Whether you have a sales manager existing or not, you are your own sales manager. You are the engineer. Expectedly, sometimes you have to go all out by yourself to do the installation. Basically, you have to learn. Sometimes you have to actually refer the same project to another friend who knows about installation as an engineer. It's all your choice to make. You are your own accountant. You are your own timekeeper to ensure that when you have an appointment for a meeting, you meet up with that time, appointment period at the right time. You have 2 o'clock meeting, you get there at 2 o'clock, and your pool will take you so seriously. So you have an inquiry about your product, and you're able to actually supply the inquiry within the same day or same few hours after. Customer get to trust you because they know that any information they need, you're always handy and ready to provide it. You're your HR manager. I mean, HR manager will determine when to hire, when to fire, and what to pay and how to pay. You determine all this by yourself. Of course, you are your own auditor, trying to know how much you make, how much you're spending it, and so on and so forth. But I can bet you are a whole lot for as much as you are ready to open your minds to this opportunity that is actually right in your front. Then I want to relate what you need to succeed. Well, this is actually a common knowledge, but it is actually worth mentioning. You need product knowledge, knowing your products and solutions in and out. You can go to our website and check for some of these, go to online, check for some of these products and check their installation, check their product manual, check every other detail detached about them. And of course, you do better at selling your products when you have that knowledge about the product. Good lead generation skills. You have to know how to go online there or physically to engage for as much people that are willing to listen to you as possible. These are the hard skills that you must have. Good use of internet for business search purposes. You need to be able to know how to use your internet or for social media business search, for online business search, yellow pages business searches, and so on and so forth. You need to be savvy on how to actually use this channel to get your own audience. Good knowledge of the industry and competitive offerings. You need to actually understand what time attendance industry looks like, the landscape of that business looks like, landscape of entrance control, the solution, and the likes. You need to know how the landscape looks like to see how you can actually dive within this landscape. You want to have an idea of your competitive offering. This is ZKTeco. We have other brands there. You want to check their price, you want to check the power of their software and see if they match up with yours. If they match up with yours, then you begin to look at the pricing. Okay, what I'm offering the same thing. The same thing I'm offering, company B is offering the same thing. Are there things that are not in the zone that is in my own that actually make my own to be expensive or cheaper? You need to understand your market, to know how to take optimal benefit from that market. Make the best of profit when you need to make it, and make the least of profit when you need to make it. This will actually boil down from how much you know your customer. Now, you get organized and follow through. For every lead you get, you are actually engaging all thoroughly and follow through on every engagement. You have got somebody you have got online. Is wanting to actually send the first mail, designer to be able to have the temerity to follow up on that mail engagement, meet people on LinkedIn, the temerity to be able to meet and follow up with people on LinkedIn or any other media through which you meet them. Okay, and that strong connection, the ability to be able to connect across all audience, across all locations is very, very necessary. The customer engagement, some other soft skills that you need, customer engagement skills, know how to relate with your customer, right, to get your results. Good listening skills, and I want to mention that listening is just about somebody talking and you are not talking. You are basically facing somebody is talking, you are facing the person, you are maintaining eyeball contact. Yeah, it's a good way to listen. But beyond that, you must be able to ensure that you are able to read meanings to every lines that are said or unsaid, and you're able to know how to respond and interpret accordingly. So listening is not just about silence to the other person's communication, but it's about being very, very actively involved in what he's saying, so much so that you're almost saying it along the person. I mean, you know that much about what he intends to say, then you actually respond accordingly. Then you need that high level of patience and resilience, because sales, I mean, as it were, whether as your own business person or you are working for somebody, sales is not something that actually comes easy. I mean, so you need to prepare your mind for long haul, but eventually when the result begins to come, it will pay for itself. But you need to have that skill to maintain, to keep on when you need to keep on. Then good communication skills. You must be able to have a very strong communication skills about how to engage and what channel to engage. Should I engage via mail or via WhatsApp or just verbal discussion? What language of communication do I need to engage this person with what's their level of knowledge, to know what kind of language I want to, are they technically grounded or otherwise? This information will actually help you to know how to package communication across the customers. Then personal branding. You need to be able to maintain yourself so well that your presence is actually given that kind of respect. You don't want to be seen as one hungry fellow or one fellow who is only interested in his own pocket without actually considering others, and so therefore you can actually call 10 times or 20 times per day. So I mean, that's actually one part of personal branding, to know when to cross your limits and close up the conversation or slow down the conversation. And personal branding in terms of even how you look and how you are perceived to the customer is very, very necessary. You have to be deliberate about putting yourself in the right attire and look and generally to be able to be well perceived by your prospects. Now, the markets. I mean, we have mentioned about the products. We have mentioned about you as a person. Then now, what is the people, which is the markets? The market actually is can be described in 3 forms. The SME, which carry sometimes close to 80% of the entire engagement we'll be having. A lot of time you'll be talking to companies that are medium size, small size. For example, you have a barber shop in your office and in your area, and the barber shop probably has like 7 employees, and they want to mention how people come in and clock out. You can actually have one in your neighborhood, and you want to engage them while they need your solution. You understand. So that is one, and there are some other well-structured medium-sized company who are willing to they have issues and they need solutions to their problem, and you should be willing to engage them at every point in time. So these people usually they run an organization with about 5 to 100 employees. In terms of characteristics, they are easy to reach. You find them in your neighborhood, you find them in your street, you find them close to your workplace, you find them, just all around. And you can easily walk up to somebody and engage the person and get to the highest authority within the company. They are easy to reach. You either talk to the front desk, and front desk is helping you to link up to whoever is a sales manager or procurement manager or something, because it's a small size organization. Then quick feedback system. So when you're engaging them, it will be faster for you to know whether they are buying or they are not buying, right? I mean, most times they will not, the request for proposal will actually be when they are serious, and they don't just ask you to drop a proposal and keep a view. And they have easier, comparatively, they have easier internal processes that does not make it too much prolong their sales processes. They have a shorter buying cycle. They are buying one today, in the next 6 months, the next 1 year, they have no reason to actually call you to buy something else within your solution or something else closer to your solution, and they feel that you are the one that can provide it for them. The lesser buying capacity, comparatively, they have they can't buy that much. Like they can't buy so much. I mean, because they have limited employee, so therefore most of the time they have 1 branch. So when they have 2, 3 branches, with this such company is very good. It's very good for you to tap fully into such a company. Why? Because for every time they make that decision, they are making the decision for 3 sales at the center because they have 3 branches, 10 sales at the center because they have 10 branches, and so on and so forth. So, and the capacity to actually have a recurring purchase is so high too. And I mean, among these SME, then we have the large enterprise. I mean, these usually have up to 100 employees, and 15% of the effort should be concentrated on this one. But the beauty of this part is that they are large corporation, but they will account for, if you are able to win one deal or 2 deals with them, the profit and the revenue you get from it would even almost equal to or even double the amount you get from the 75% SME energy. But then definitely SME, putting your effort of 75% of your effort on SME is very necessary because you want to actually get your response on time and not to get tired about the possibility of buying your solution or not. Once you have these people, at least you can be sure that maybe every other month, every other 2 months, can be adding one additional customer or the other to your Biotime Africa. But large corporations, sometimes the decision is so slow, it takes like 1 year, 2 years, they'll be talking to you back and forth on mail, follow through on project bidding and the likes. These are features of a large corporation. So you are expected to dispense only about 15% of your energy to it. That 15% is ready to give you 80% of results actually, but then just ensure that if you are talking to 100 people, 75 of them are around SMEs, 15 of them are around the large corporate enterprise, and 5 of them is around governments, okay? But now the reverse is the case when it comes to results. When it comes to getting the results that you get from winning one single government project can actually fetch you several other opportunities you must have closed through SME or large corporation. So, however, if you put all your energy in pursuing government project, you get frustrated on time because the project will not even come materialize on time. Sometimes they go all the way, bid for project for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and so on and so forth. So this is a very vital to your success to understand how this thing plays out. So for large enterprise, they have large purchase capacity. They have high delivery requirement. They always high concern about details of your deployments, slow in decision-making process, long internal processing, because it takes one director or the other to get approval on every project. So decision-making process is so slow. Internal processes are slow, and then high vested interest. A lot of time when you have corporation, you have one director having certain interest, and the other director having a different interest. So there's kind of vested interest in every project you are bidding for through this corporation. And for the government, they always have a very large budget for projects. Because everything from Nigeria, for example, is actually controlled from the hub. So projects are actually coming from that angle. They are coming in a very large size. And like I said, just effort of 5%, consistently though, so only 5% effort on this, by the time results will come, it will give you the 80% of results of other businesses you must have had combined all together. Okay, so this is the nature and feature of the market you are engaging. Then how do you reach these people? How do you reach the SME? SMEs are in your neighborhood. They are in your close cycles, your former schoolmates, your former roommates, and so on and so forth. Your friends, your religious organizations, you go to the same church or the same mosque together. And sometimes you go all out to say, just, okay, I want to visit these companies today. You go and do a cold visit. These are the ways to reach your SMEs. Then sometimes you consult contact banks, yellow pages, African or Nigerian company directory, and so on and so forth. These are means through which you can actually get people to talk to. You call them, do a mail to them. When it requires, do a physical visit to them, and of course you get as much as possible. Then of course you have to be going online to search for them is a way to go. You get your customers there. Social media, Instagrams, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all are sources through which you can actually get your SME. And I mentioned cold calling too. Cold calling, just a random leaving your office or leaving your home to just look at the next few companies around and engage them about your product and solution. For the large corporation, you can actually also get a corporation on yellow pages. When you see any company coming to the TV or to do a broadcast about a solution, or coming to broadcast them ad online, right? Or you see print having a full page about a particular product. Just that company is big enough, to be called large corporation. You can actually tell the price of advertising on a billboard in Nigeria, on newspaper in Nigeria is not small. No small company can actually afford that. So such company, by listening to any ad, you can pick the name of the company advertising the ad. Then you can actually see that as your prospect to engage as far as profiling them, researching them, and engage them as far as your solution and product is concerned. Your social cycles too are things to explore. Even though you might be working in a small organization or working with a small cycle, you have people who are coming to your churches or mosques. They are big men on their own rights. These people are whom you can actually collaborate, engage and offer your solution to them, and of course, urge them to introduce you to their company. And your social circle, cold calling to CSC, a web portal, online searches, LinkedIn, and so on and so forth. For every of these things, when you see them, you research them, you know how to present your solutions to them. Again, I had earlier mentioned about your personal branding. Personal branding will actually determine if you can meet this organization in their own comfort zone, as the case may be. And of course, we determine whether they want to give you any listing here or not. Then for governments, you have some people whose job basically are government lobbyists. They lobby for projects. If you know one or two of these people and you offer a solution to them, usually you get a way through, because sometimes and somehow they have a connection that will connect to the right person in government, either for the president, for the governor, minister, as the case may be. And when you have one single listing here, and even in fact, one listing here and one project from government side in one single project will cover up 10 or 20 or 30 of SMEs you must have done in the past. Then, of course, you can actually see government projects too on tenders and bid documents, broadcast and print media too, and so on and so forth. Then, beyond the fact that we are actually offering our products, this is actually to them. You are familiar with this part of the presentation about different evidence to actually show that people are requesting for they are really requesting for this your solution, right? You see screening headline about government want to cut costs, government want to identify actual workers, and they want to be sure that they are not paying the wrong person. So your solution have a problem to that. And from screening headline here and there is a recurring issue that is not about to go time any moment soon, except there's deliberate effort from government, which is part of the solution you are trying to offer to government, as the case may be. So know of any company, of any government or lobbyist who can reach out to the presidency, the minister or ministries, or even to governors and the likes. The more of them you have, the likely you are able to have a breakthrough on your solution. Then the money maker for you. I mean, you have actually been explained to how you get your payments, I mean, your purchase, and how you make your money through commission and the likes. But I simply want to talk about around this small table. So things you would actually be making profit from the devices. You are buying device at a certain naira, there is a standard amount that the device is worth in the market. But you as a partner, you are getting it as a lesser price. These numbers here are just for analysis sake. They are not real numbers. 120,000, if you want real numbers, you can actually talk to Josh about pricing and the likes. 120,000 naira, for example, you buy the device, then you buy at 9,000 naira. Instead of the 120,000, you should buy it as an end user. Now, when you are selling, you can sell at any amount that you like, because it's your call. You are the one that knows the customer. We have had a case of somebody buying a device of 500,000 naira here and go ahead to sell it at the rate of 8 million naira to government, to customers. You understand? Because they see you as knowing better, and they don't have time to actually be talking to. Even when they talk to us, they are limited to people who can actually attend to. We have a criteria of direct engagement, and this is just one of them. The software, you buy the software, say at 100,000 naira, okay. Normally, that is normal price, but you as a partner, you're getting that same software at 80,000 naira. So that's first profit, 20%. Then if you eventually now had people who have actually deployed the solution, anytime they are making renewal, you are getting your percentage for life. Then anytime your underlines, maybe you have actually introduced another person to come and sign up as a BAP, you have every 10% of whatever the person earns as commission. So this is and how much I sell in software, you determine the cost of software. Usually you can't actually cap software. Whatever you call a software is what people are willing to buy it, as long as it gives them the solution to their problem, right? Then the cost of installation, we are not charging you for cost of installation, because it's actually a skill that you must learn on your part after the training, or having done the training, as the case may be. Then so how much are you selling your installation to them? You charge any amount you like. Right, I was talking to one of our partners yesterday. You want to install one door access control, and he's saying that the least he will collect is 60,000 naira per door, and these people are doing up to about 100 doors as an hotel. Just figure it out. If somebody is actually saying the least he will collect is 60,000 naira per installation, and somebody has up to 100 doors, you can actually quickly do your mathematics and come to conclusion of how much the installer will be making just from a single customer. Then training. Normal standard pricing for training is 20,000 naira and above, depending on the kind of training you are getting, but start from 20,000 naira and above. In your own case, we are giving this training to you free of charge about how to install, how to configure, and so on and so forth. You are getting them free of charge. How much are you charging your customer? Any amount you like. Any amount your customer is willing to pay is what you charge. Then support. So what are we charging for support? Nothing. What are we charging for support? Nothing. Then what are you charging your customer? Any amount you so desire. For example, support can come like you come to them every other 3 months to come and check what you have deployed for them and ensure that it's working fine. You can actually have them sign an MOU and of course pay for retainership cost of getting you around every other month or every other 3 months or once in a year or twice in a year to ensure that things are running very, very smoothly. So, I mean, you are well familiar with this one already. So, I think this should do justice to whatever you should think about how this is should make money for you. So now we are sure that sometimes you talk a little, you just mention your product to somebody, maybe as an SME friend, and decide to say, oh, yeah, this project, this product you mentioned, I have Governor so or Minister so. I mean, talking about the same solution, and it's taking to the opportunity. This becomes a big project beyond just being a BAP. It becomes a big project. A big project is not something you want to handle alone. Talk to us. I can actually reach me via this email address, ZKTeco.wa.com. This would go a long way. You can actually partner together on this kind of big project like that to go a long way in propelling us forward as a company and in propelling you as an individual BAP forward as a partner. Thank you. So I will wait for question if anybody has any a quick question, so we can actually call it a day. Thank you.
So, Mr. Taufik, thank you so much. I believe with that little brush up of the sales, the product, the person, and the market, participants who signed in today would have at least gotten every necessary and required details as what they need to excel. So the truth be told is that there's opportunity in our market, and it's that opportunity we are bringing to you as a ZKTeco. Our solution has been tested, and we can assure you that it's a product that would work for our local market. Hence why we are bringing this opportunity to you. So, Mr. Michael Wazier, I can see your hand is up. You have a question? Please kindly go ahead with your question.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning to you. Good morning, Mr. White.
Thank you very much for this training. It's an eye-opener. And I just missed out a part of a very important aspect of the information. I would like to know the cost for the web. Is a cloud-based solution. So I want to know, is there the cost attached to it? But I saw what she displayed, but I couldn't get that properly. The cost of the software for the client to connect to it. How much does it cost? He wanted to show another Excel sheet for 1 to 2 devices. So please, if you can go through that again, the cost of the software, if it's a cloud-based, is it a yearly cost, a monthly cost? Then how many devices can I add to it, and what is the cost attached to that, or number of users per device, so I can understand that, because that's a selling point. Because if I'm able to know how much I going to tell the client that this is costing him per month, per year, it's also a place where they're going to make a decision on based on their cash flow from their own end. So I probably might have said it before now, but probably I missed it out. Yeah, thank you.
So for the costing, you reach out to the sales, my colleague in sales for the cost, they'll let you know. But like my colleague mentioned, whatever price you decide to share, you sell to your end user, it's something you can determine. right? But we have a fixed price that you as a partner can buy from us as a BAP, that's a Biotime Authorized Partner, right? You can buy from us. And the maximum and the minimum commission you can earn based on what you're buying from ZKTeco. But as it concerns the price you're selling, that is what you determine. As long as it's competitive, and as long as you're selling to someone that is not out of place, it's fine. So the number of devices and all that, you get the price, which is being shared on your screen now. So you can reach out to the sales guys to get a breakdown, the number of devices you can add to different price range, the number of users, and every other required information accordingly. So I don't know if that answers your question, Mr. Michael.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So we also have a question from Mr. I think it's from John Lock Automations. Please kindly go ahead with your question.
Hello, good morning.
To you. Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, please, I come in a little bit late. I don't know if you have talked about the mobile app before I come in, so I just want to know.
The mobile application?
Yes. How to install the mobile app, and
no,
I don't know
okay,
if you are talking about it.
For the mobile application, you're not installing the mobile application on your phone, on PC. The mobile app is to be installed on your phone, right? So when you install the mobile app on your phone, you can now link. The same way, if you recall yesterday, the same way we linked our device to the software, is also the same way we link the mobile application to the software. The same URL you use, right? The same URL you use to link your device to software is also the same URL you will use. So you can go to Play Store if you're using Android, or iOS Store if you're using Apple, and you search Biotime Cloud, okay? Once you do that, you will see the Biotime Cloud app on the Play Store, on the App Store accordingly. You download the Biotime Cloud app, Biotime Cloud app. Once you download it, it has four sign-in tabs. The first one is your email or user ID, your password, your company name. So you input the company name together. That's what you have as the HTTPS // or whatever you call it, and your URL accordingly. Test session.biotime.ng or whatever your company name is. Okay, you input that, and when you've done that, you click connect. It will link that app to link that app to your Biotime Cloud account accordingly.
Another question. If I have a customer that has maybe, for example, 50 workers, and out of those 50 workers, like 10 people are working outside, they want to be punching from outside, and they want to install on their phone also, on the people that are working outside on their phone, for them to be punching outside from outside. Are they going to be using my own account, or we need to have an account for the customer?
So for such a customer who have staff that will be punching for a remote location from their phone, when you are purchasing your license, you need to specify the number of mobile app accounts you want. It's also indicated on the price list that was shared by my colleague, Taufik. Yes. So you have the maximum number of mobile app accounts you can connect with it. And so, for example, say you get a standard account that allow about I think 10 mobile app accounts, right? So what that means is that you can add 10 mobile app of employees to that account. So for them to do what they need to do is, I'll share my screen now. What they need to do is just on your Biotime, you go to the employee that you want to give mobile app access. So for example, if it's Josh, you go to there. Now you see the mobile app setting under the employee tab. You have the personal information, device setting, attendance setting, document, and of course, the mobile app setting, okay? So now you come here, mobile app status, you need to enable it first, right? Then the app role for the employee, is the person an administrator or is you as an employee? You set this, right? Then mobile attendance punch, enable. And once that is done, you confirm, okay? You confirm accordingly. So if you notice now, the reason why this is showing is that previously, for this user ID 22, an account has been set for me. Hence why my mobile app has been linked to it. Hence why I have a client ID. Okay? So once you do that, you confirm. So now, once that is done, that means my mobile app set access on the Biotime Africa has been configured accordingly. So the next line of action is for me to go to my phone, download the app from the Play Store, open the app. Now, when I open the app, what I will now do, I will, first of all, the first thing I need to do is I will sign out. I'll log out now. If I want to activate for employees to be able to use their self-service portal or to activate their mobile app, okay? Yes. So in this case, come in place, let me check on the email I used again. You need to be sure of the email you used because that's what you used to sign in. Okay, so now I need to look up my email as a personnel. If I want to activate my mobile app account, you know, when I was setting up the email, I just formulated an email, so I need to get that email now, because that's what I will use to activate my self-service portal or my mobile account. It's very important, right? So now, this is the email I formulated that I used. Note this email, copy this email. Now, another thing you need to note is the employee ID. It's very important. And of course, your company name. My company name is ZKTeco NGA. My employee ID is 22, and my email address is got.goma or whatever it is. So now I've noted these three things. Now, I would sign out and activate my employee self-service portal. How do I do that? So now I come in here, either because this is the first time I need to activate my employee self-service portal, I will sign in their email, and I input this, my ID and my email, and I'll verify, come in. Okay, sorry. So let me use this and this, okay? The ID is 22. The company name is ZKTeco NGA. I verify. Can you see that now? So yes. What happened now is that I've initiated a password authentication to trigger a password request. So automatic password request will be sent to this email, which I will now go in, I'll click on the link, and I will create a password. So once I've done that, is that email, this email and that password that I've created that I will now use to sign in into my mobile app, because I've been given that access on the portal to be able to log in using mobile app. So once I go in now, I get this email and my email address, and of course the password that I would have created by this email trigger. I will now input those two on the mobile app, and I can sign in accordingly. And also, if I want to sign in on my own self-service portal on the web, I will also use the same thing. My email, right? Or my ID and my company name. My personal email, that's the god.goma, whatever I use now. Or my user ID and my company name to sign in. Once I've created my account, ab initio, I can now sign in to the web, sign in to the mobile app, have access to my own self-service portal accordingly. request for leave, request for exception if I'm late, punching and all that. So I believe that answers your question.
That's the question. Thank you very much.
Privilege. Okay. Any other question, please? Any other question? Okay. In the absence of other question, I think we'll be rounding up today's session here. So if you have further questions or clarification after this session, please, you want to do well to reach out to us via our support channel. Also, please do well to always keep a tab on our YouTube channel. Like I mentioned yesterday, it is one unique place where you would get a whole lot of information. Myself talking to you, I'm learning and relearning every day as it concerns ZKTeco solutions and product accordingly, because of course, the products, some of them, they are dynamic, right? We cannot exhaust everything about the product and solution in one session. So it's important that if you have issues, you want to know you want to get yourself better equipped on ZKTeco product and solution, you want to do well to check our YouTube channel, check our website. Also, we have under our support team, we also have our platform where you can do online learning under our support tab of our website. Our YouTube channel is also there. We have several videos that will help you too. So please do well to always use this channel to avail yourself to information that will help you to improve yourself on ZKTeco range of and solution. So on that note, I want to say thank you to all of you for your time. Thank you to Mr. Taufik for availing yourself to take this session. And of course, Mr. Ibrahim, who is also in this session. Sorry, Mr. Timothy, I didn't get your question. Okay, you want to say recorded what? Please, since you have a question, Mr. Timothy?
Yeah, sorry, I came in late, quite busy. Apology for this. But I just want to know if we can get a recorded format, that is of this particular the training we received today. Well, we appreciate, please.
Not a problem. It's been recorded, so you get it accordingly. But you can also check on it will also be posted on our YouTube channel, right? So you can also get access to that.
Okay.
Thank you very much, and thanks for keeping a date with us. So see you in subsequent training session, and stay safe. Have a great day.